This is Air, your host, and let's just check out the energy of the collective this day. What is going on around the world? Let's see. What's happening in your world? The Two of Pentacles and Cooper. Cooper is kind of, I think it's a little bit anxious, so maybe animals around you are also being anxious, maybe because of the heat. So I saw the Two of Pentacles, and clarifying that is the Two of Cups and the Nine of Swords. And the main energy, the main external energy is the Three of Cups and the Page of Swords. So what I could see here is that a lot of you may be a male or may have a strong masculine energy, a young masculine energy. Your head chakras are very active right now, but are actually very protected as well. But I think they're very active, so you may be very intuitive and may be actually protecting your crown chakra a lot. But I see that it is very active, and it's like has a lot of things in their mind, like a lot of space in your mind, thinking about what's going on and really focusing on trying to level up finances, maybe trying to level up finances or investments. And with the Two of Cups, with the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Cups seems like this is mostly like it's like you're trying to manifest, value through a spiritual connection with the universe, through your DNA. So like connecting with your body, and also like making that connection with the actual world in order to manifest and level these energies that I see around. With the Two of Pentacles, I see that you're actually standing in a very dry ground. Maybe the people that's listening to this podcast are not from places with a lot of drinking water around. Maybe you have a lot of seawater, but not so much drinking water, and you're really like it's like a people very focused on in working with the resources that they have. But I see a very, very beautiful connection here with the divine, with the Two of Cups. I say that the masculine and the feminine energy are being leveled up, and you're actually starting to manifest from a place of equilibrium, from a place of connecting with your body, feminine side, and your masculine side within your body. There's like the Two of Cups. In this Two of Cups card, there is a masculine energy connecting with the allowing energy of the feminine with his hand, and above them there is this huge symbol of a higher self or spirit, actually, of the universe, spirits of nature, of life, the spirit of life. And they're being connected through DNA, which is the roots of everyone's connection through nature on this planet. So I see that there is a lot of thoughts. Maybe people is not sleeping very well. Maybe you're not sleeping very well these days, mainly because of a lot of thoughts, and dark thoughts, maybe like thoughts that you don't want to see. Maybe thoughts from other people that are like piling up on your mind, piling up in your mind. Yeah, maybe because you have a lot of things on your mind, as I see in this Two of Pentacles card as well. You're trying to balance two opposing energies, like resources that go into one way and resources that need to go to the other way around. The good thing is that those resources are actually connected. So that's the beautiful of the financial system. Money is interconnected. So when you invest in something, like intuitively, I got this message that people is worried, like when you spend on something that maybe you have to really spend on that, but you are like, you really want to spend on everything you need. And sometimes we think that by investing on something that's relevant in our lives, we're letting go of something else that's also relevant in our lives. But what I see here is that the main message that I see here is that there is a connection, even in finances, even in our as well as in spirit, and there is a connection in the actual world and in finances. So the higher level is the Two of Cups, which is a connection with spirit and with our collective nature, with life. I think it's like we're connecting by investing in finances, or by you leveling up finances with that connection in mind, like trying to level your inner emotions as well, trying not to expend so much, for example, like not to overindulge, by connecting with yourself and expressing that into your investments. That's going to be a very balancing act. And those thoughts that we tend to have, this Knight of Swords kind of experience, we need to connect more with the nature side, because I see in this Two of Cups card, there is a lot of green, not so much green, but at least there is a little bit of green. And in the Two of Pentacles, I see that there is only a focus on value or resources, and we're kind of like 1 feet in the air and 1 feet in the ground. So I think one advice that Spirit is giving us today is that we actually can connect more. Like we are actually connecting with our nature by doing this exercise of balancing value, and that we can be actually connect more, further more, and ground ourselves more, so we can actually put both feet on the ground, and knowing that when we connect with our bodies, and we actually, for example, know when we want to spend a lot on something and we need to balance that and spend a little bit more on something else, that by doing that, we're going to be able to ground ourselves more. And whenever we feel anxious about spending and about, for example, trying to cope by buying stuff or spending, you know, there is a message here that we need to increase the amount of connection in those times. So we need to, for example, go out for walks and really connect more with the planet, with the nature, breathing air, fresh air, and trying to connect with life, with the value of life, and knowing that whenever we spend on something, that money is not away from the system. Like every time we spend or every time we gain value, Spirit is telling us and reminding us that everything is interconnected. So we have to be aware of those times in which we think that, you know, spending money is something that is damaging, you know. Every time we spend money, that money is going to somewhere else, you know, and that money is supposed to come back. That's what I see here. So we need to be more grounded and learn that humanity is a community. That's the external thing, that money is going to come back because humanity is a community, and humanity has holidays, for example, now in Thanksgiving. And people really spend, you know, like you are spending now, but people is going to spend in the future, and you have to be taking that into consideration, that everyone around the world is having these cycles in which they spend today, and tomorrow they are gonna receive money, you know, because other people around the world is spending when they are not. So I say that, yes, maybe a lot of you are a little bit like anxious about this holiday, for example, the Christmas holiday, and you were already anxious since Halloween, I see. Maybe you were already anxious since Halloween. But we have to understand as a society that whenever we spend, we are actually investing on someone else, and that people or other people around us eventually will have to invest or buy anything for their own lives. So I see that we have to connect more with the fact that everyone around us has to spend. Everyone around us has to buy food, for example. Everyone around us has to buy clothes. Everyone around us has to keep a house over our heads, you know. And Spirit is saying us that we have to use these cycles to provide services to others, to invest in those things by providing others in these cyclical needs that we have as a society. We can also provide ourselves, because the world is actually doing that. Like, that's what I see. The world is going to provide you because they actually need things as well as you need. So I see that the Spirit is saying, yes, you're gonna receive money, and and what you're doing is not wrong by spending money. And be aware that if you want to sell something, that keep an eye on the cycles that humans and anything around our society has. For example, agriculture. If you wanna sell fruits, for example, keep an eye on the cycles on the agricultural industry. If you wanna sell clothes, keep an eye on the cycles of how humans around the world spend at certain times of the year, certain times of the month, how certain cultures spend on certain times of the world and certain times of the year, you know. So keep an eye on those cycles, of those natural cycles that we have. and keep an eye on your own cycles, and understand that others are trying to actually provide to you by selling you services and products, and by connecting with your feminine energy, and by calling what you need, like I need this, and by calling that, like please I need this, and you're gonna be connecting with other people energetically that's actually wanting to deliver those kind of products and services to you. So and by you, for example, investing and creating services and products for people, you're going to be using your masculine internal energy to provide as well. So you are going to be included in this cycle. Okay, so I see that a lot of you, or a lot of us, me included, sometimes tend to be very anxious about, oh my God, is this product going to be working? Is this product going to be selling? Is there a demand for this product? And Spirit says, yes, there is a demand for products that we people need. And you only have to keep an eye on the cycles and invest on providing for people in those special occasions more than other occasions. So I see, like, focus on the times when people really need to buy certain stuff and to optimize demand, for example. And whenever there is not so much demand, use that as a time to buy, So when, for example, now is holidays, use these times to sell, to provide to people, to give people opportunities to buy cheaper products. And when we're not in a holiday season, use those times to buy and to gather and to produce, gather and produce for yourself, allow yourself to receive in those times, and use the money that you made on the holidays or on the weekends, but on seasonal sellings, on Black Fridays, for example, I see on Black Fridays, use that when demand is low and buy when demand is low, so prices are lower. And when prices are higher, try to sell and provide for people to decrease their the amount of money that they have to spend, So that is like a very good thing to do for people to be less anxious on these times, That's what I see. And understand that when you're providing for people, people is going to provide, because this Spirit is saying value in life is a single energy. Money is interconnected with your own body. As humans, we are, and money is like almost like a spiritual manifestation, more like like something we created. It's a creation by us, and it has a life, but we give it life by valuing that. We give them life, So, but that life, money works only because we made it work, only because we make it work, because we use it. So we give it life. And your Spirit says, if you want money, just focus on your life, focus on connecting with your feminine side, with your masculine side, and focus to include yourself into this, being aware of the cycles that you as a human, as a living being in this society have, and deliver yourself by allowing yourself for people around you to give you what you need. And also you use your masculine energy to provide for people what they need. So we, instead of worrying so much about, is this going to be selling, is this not going to be selling, just try to be a little bit more grounded with what you want to do, and use holidays. What I see here is a huge connection with holidays. Use holidays to see what people is really needing. You know, if you, for example, are not able to create a marketing strategy that's very complicated, use holidays and social networks and see what people is actually claiming. You know, like, oh my God, these turkeys turkey's prices are out of the roof this year. So what you're gonna do, you know, buy some turkeys in some other place, you know, and bring the turkeys into your place so they're cheaper, you know, and you help your community. If you see that, oh, they need water, then you go and find some place around the world where water is cheaper, you buy that and you bring it to your country, you know. That's what I see. So use these cycles as marketing, very marketing focused opportunities, you know. And because holidays are the times where people kind of suffer the most when there is a scarcity. And I see that like almost our spirit as a society actually wants these, like for example, I see some people, it's like, I wish this holiday I could have this, for example, you know. And I see on the other side of the coin, I say that I wish in this holiday I sell this amount of product, you know. I'm connecting with a very, very beautiful human energy today. So and you both the people that sell and the people that buy are very preoccupied, worried, and with so much even pain, you know, like, oh my God, I had so much things to think about at night, so much assets to manage, so much sales to do, so much buys to do as well. I have so many bills, I have too much debt, and I need to pay my employees, things like that, and I need to be paid. And my employer, I hope it gives me a bonus, you know, things like that. So it's like what I see is that in these times of holidays, what connects us is the human need and the cycle itself within our societies, and that we need to take advantage of that. And not take advantage of it, I don't think, take the opportunity to join the cycle. Not take advantage, it sounds like a little bit too aggressive and too like self-centered. But what I mean is that we have to understand that we form part of a cycle of a cyclical society, and by connecting with this, with ourselves, with our bodies, by really connecting and being aware of what are the things that I can provide from my provider energy, you know, to not say masculine, from my provider. Why do I want to provide? And what do I want to receive? What do I need, you know? And what do you see that people need that you could provide to them and charge, you know, like get money from, and, you know, to alleviate your charge. And that's what I see. And I really see a huge emphasis on collective celebrations. So I say it's like the holiday season, and maybe because, you know, this now the world is not in a very good state because of the wars and all that stuff. So I see there is a lot of things in our minds, and it wouldn't be counterproductive to cut back on the things that are in your mind in these times, you know, like connect more with community and connect more with nature, especially with nature, especially with things, with food, for example, with fruits. Fruits, I see like a very huge emphasis with fruits and grass, you know, like go out and go for a picnic and do brunches in nature, and step away from places that are too full of buildings and too much salty water that you cannot drink. I see that Spirit is calling us to go to places where we can connect with life on these holidays. We can connect with life, like surround ourselves with life instead of just keeping an eye on the assets, keeping an eye on the finances, keeping an eye on the things that we can see and in social media that are harming us and that obviously does not make a good experience for us. For example, if you saw a bunch of videos on some platform and then you sleep and you dream about them, then Spirit says like, okay, maybe cut it back and go for a walk, connect with nature, hug a tree, eat a fruit on the way, you know, like buy some fruits and walk and buy a fruit while you're walking. And I mean, eat a fruit while you're walking, you know, to connect with nature and cut it back, cut back this anxiety provoking content that you're seeing around the world, and understand that you're part of a community. Either you like it or not, either you want to be in a system or not. Like, you cannot escape the matrix kind of way, because the matrix is the planet. That's what I see. The matrix is not, it's not the society in which we live in as humans. The real matrix, the universe is saying, is the planet where we live on. So if we are too connected with what we think about as the matrix, human society, you know, we're gonna be disconnecting ourselves from spirit, from our DNA, from our ancestry, which is biologically bigger than we as human beings. We're mammals, we are primates. We need to be connected with, especially in these holidays that are celebrating life, we need to connect more with life, not more with the matrix of human society, of production, of money making, of anguish and worry about everything, that every need you cannot meet this holiday. Okay, that's what I see, and I hope you really like this. I hope you really like this reading. It was and another thing I say is that we actually have the ability to manifest these beautiful learnings. We can actually, by doing so, by going out to nature, by connecting, by learning about humanity, natural cycles, we actually are going to be able to meet better our needs and those of others. And I hope you like this reading. If you like, please subscribe or follow this podcast. And thank you so much for listening, and see you on my next reading.